Good evening and welcome. This is Spirituality in Action. I remain your host, Clement Eto. With me on the program is Mrs. Comfort ADERINOLA, BABALOLA. Oh, welcome to the program, madam.
Thank you so much.
It's wonderful to have you. Together we'll be treating the topic, Ye are not of the flesh, but of the Spirit. Before we proceed, I would like to make the following announcements. We are excited to invite you to a special Christian Science lecture titled The Living Truth That Frees Mankind, and this will be presented by an international speaker, Chimezie Elvis Ahanonu, CS. This inspiring lecture will explore how spiritual truth brings about genuine freedom and healing to our lives. You can join us in 2 days on air. Tune in to 104.7 SM AFM on Friday, 6:30 p.m. and in person. You can attend a live lecture at First Church of Christ Scientists, Iju, on Sunday, December 22nd. The radio lecture will be taking place on the 20th of December 2024. Both events are open to everyone and promise uplifting insights into the spiritual truths that free mankind. Now, without wasting time, I'll go straight into it. Madam, how does recognizing oneself as not being of the flesh but of the Spirit influence our approach to overcoming challenges such as illness or fear? Can you also share a specific example where this understanding brought about healing or resolution?
You know, in the Bible, the Apostle Paul told us in Romans 8, chapter 9, in Romans chapter 8, verse 9, that ye are not of the flesh, but of the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. This profound statement challenges us to consider our true nature and identity. We are not merely fleshly, being governed by material conditions. We are not matter. We are spiritual expression of divine spirit, reflecting God, eternal goodness, and wholeness. We are being taught in Christian Science that our true identity is not material but spiritual. In the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. This understanding liberates us from the limitation and fears of fleshly existence and limits us to realization of our unchanging unity with divine spirit, the source of all good. If we hold on to this realization that we are made in the image, in the likeness of God, as we have been created originally from the beginning, then all the beliefs that we are confined to a physical body and that we are subject to disease, to sin, and death, we just begin to vanish away from our consciousness. And this false sense is the term that Christian Science terms the flesh. Mrs. Eddy, the discoverer and founder of Christian Science, writes in Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, the flesh was against spirit because the fleshly mind is opposed to God and must be put off. We find this in page 144 of Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. And if we can actually really understand this, we will be free. We will be free, completely free. Jesus showed us this way out of this bondage of seeing ourselves as material and not spiritual. He did so many healing works. He showed us examples that we need to follow. And if we are able to be Christ-like, if we are able to spiritualize our thoughts as he taught us, we will see that it is the power of God that is governing everything that we do, and that everything will be experiencing harmony all the way. How do we actually do this? When we accept that we are not of the flesh but of the spirit, we begin to see ourselves and others in the light of spiritual reality. That is shift in thought. It is transformative. It enables us to reject the evidence of discord and disease as illegitimate and embrace the spiritual fact of health, holiness, and harmony. St. Paul said, when we wait patiently and seek truth righteously, God directs our path. And we find this also in Science and Health, page 254. So if we allow the Christ idea, the true idea of God, to illuminate our consciousness, Mizadi said somewhere in Science and Health that we should stand porter at the door of thoughts. This is spiritualization of thought. So if we can do this repeatedly, then we are going to be completely free of fear, of limitation, and whatever is attributed to all that. Now, we need to learn to pray daily. It's a daily work. If we can pray daily and affirm daily that we are God's spiritual idea, we are free from material limitations, and we declare our unity with spirit and reject the false belief that we are a mortal being, then we will be completely free. This kind of spiritualization of thought as that we are spiritual free us completely from whatever it is. Whatever it is. Now, if we recognize ourselves as not of the flesh but of the spirit, this brings healing. It brings peace of mind. It brings freedom. We will be completely, you will not see, you will not be afraid of, you will not, everything will become so, all the things that the world is presenting to us will become very, very unrealistic to us. Now, in John 6, verse 63, we are also told that it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited nothing. This spiritual quickening transforms thought and life, enabling us to walk with confidence and joy in our God-given dominion. If we strive to live more fully in spirit, embracing our true identity as God's spiritual offspring, it is this understanding that we are going to find eternal harmony, health, and freedom that are our divine inheritance from our Father, Mother God. There was an experience that helped me to actually prove this many years ago. I was still very, very new in Christian Science, and I had to go through a major surgical operation, which was done and was successful. But a few months after, complications set in, and I found myself that I had to be readmitted into the hospital again for another surgery on the same spot. It was a decision that was very, very difficult to decide. But because I was just learning about all these new things, that we are spiritual and that we are not material, and it is not me that the surgeon or medical doctor was going to court, because this is not my true identity. This physical body is not my true identity, that I'm purely spiritual. I went in for the second time of the operation, and when they brought me out of the theater, all my relatives and friends that were around were completely perplexed, and they gave up completely. They thought I was not going to make it. When I regained consciousness and I saw the way, the look on the faces of all these my people, I saw that they have just realized that they had given up on me. And I started praying, and I started affirming my identity, my real identity, knowing that it is spiritual, that I am not material, that God made me good, very good. I held on to this in my consciousness and in my subconsciousness, and that brought about the recovery. It was a healing that it has ever been so amazing to me. That happened since 1997. And my health has been completely perfect ever since.
Awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Such insights and delivered experiences leaves one speechless and makes you yearn to want to do it, to want to commit to that level of understanding, to gain it and apply it. I'm sure our listeners are taking that. For inquiries and comments, get in touch via email to spiritualityonpoint@gmail.com. I'll take that again, spiritualityonpoint, one word, @gmail.com. Or you can also reach us via telephone. The numbers to call are 080-33-33-3803. I'll take the number again, 080-33-33-3803 or 080-6231-4394. I'll take that number again, 080-6231-4394. And while we're talking about discovering true freedom and healing, let me introduce you to a remarkable book that has changed lives for over a century, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. You can get this book, this wonderful book, this groundbreaking work which explores the spiritual laws behind Christ Jesus' healings and teachings and healing works. It explains how understanding God as divine love and truth can bring healing to any challenge, whether physical, emotional, or financial. You can get this copy by reaching out to us using any one of those media. Thank you, Madam, for a wonderful treatment and sharing beautiful insight. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No, thank you.
It's nice speaking with you.
Same here. Thank you.